So we're back. This is Elizabeth Garvish. I'm an immigration attorney locally here in Atlanta. My firm is Garvish Immigration Law Group, and we're back with you with our show Beyond the Border. You're listening to the new WCEG Network, WCEGTalkRadio.com. Click the live stream tab to listen to us or watch us live on your smart TV, YouTube, WCEG Network. We are speaking life into the community at the Worldwide Community Empowerment Group. I really like that slogan because I really think we can speak things into action. We can create our lives as we want, even in this trying time in the immigration world. We were just talking about, the professionalism ideals, and yes, we can find our grace even in these atrocious times that we're facing. And luckily I'm in the community and fellowship of like other amazing immigration lawyers like I do have here with me. Okay, so let's get back to what we kind of were going through. We kind of got on a side track, but more hot topics, more things that are going on. We talked about immigration court. We talked about several of the new policies that have been enjoined in federal court. We talked about my federal court experience and how that's kind of the new normal. And we're also talking about really just setting expectations with our clients, because we are now in a time of where it's just kind of unbelievable, the situations that we're facing in immigration court. Even in the practice that I do is we're doing business-based visas, employment-based visas. My clients are hospitals. We're bringing doctors to underserved areas, and the amount of red tape that we've got go through is crazy. So these are for doctors that are in underserved areas. I got a denial on a case, just on part of the case, but it was, doctors generally that are foreign medical school grads go through residency training here in the U.S. So they have to pass like an exam to even get into the residency training. They have to be licensed. They have to pass English tests. They have to have their credentials at their medical school evaluated to even get through what's called the Education Commission on Foreign Medical Graduates, which is the agency that issues the visas. I mean, not the visas, but they're the sponsoring agency for the people that are coming here to train the foreign medical grads. So the USCIS just decided that they didn't believe that my doctor, who's already working here, is already licensed, has already passed all his residency training, has a visa. They decided that his foreign diploma wasn't, they need to be evaluated, and they didn't. And there's actually regulations and policy, and so they denied it. Of course, do you want your doctor to be worried about their immigration status when they're going into the operating room, or they're looking? Do you want them underserved area? Do you want them riddled by anxiety?
Right.
Because the immigration service is just doing a BS denial? I don't think so. So some of the things, and it's interesting, we can kind of say, okay, well, some of these immigrants, I mean, they're human beings. They enter the country, okay, illegally. They may have relief. It's in the law. But when it gets to be really outrageous is like, okay, well, we don't want this executive here that's creating jobs. Oh, we don't want we want to make sure we can just put all of these barriers in place of the doctors that are actually serving in underserved communities in our country and serving our citizens. So that we're seeing it at all levels, which is just kind of crazy to me. And I felt really bad because now, I just felt, because I've been doing this for years, and this is the first time I've gotten something, but there's a lot of firsts that I'm seeing, and it's a lot of firsts, and that's another thing that I think we're finding challenging is, it used to be that I could say, oh, in the past, this is how things happened. I've always been able to get these things approved. Everything's worked this way, and now we don't know. What's the next thing what's the next challenge?
And we have to be comfortable with telling our clients, I don't know. I mean, that'll come out of my mouth like all the time, and I'm just looking at them like, look, I'm just being honest. I don't know, and the reason why I don't know is because everything changes daily with this administration, and it could happen, it could not happen.
And it's such a so this is an interesting thing that I was watching with my kids, like the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Great movie. Great movie.
But it's really interesting because it teaches a lot of lessons, but I feel like I sat and it was 2 different consults. One was we got a denial on the I-140. I didn't file it, but it was a bogus denial, and I said, here are all the options. Federal court, let's do it. I think this can make you whole the shortest time. We've been successful. We also have, we're not litigators, but we've got some mentors that we're working with where I feel good about this. This is your best bet. Take the leap of faith, like Peter Parker tells Miles, take the leap of faith. And I feel like that's, life is hard. What are you going to do? Just take the leap of faith. We've got to do it. And, when I had the one case where we did buy out, because a lot of times we'll go to our clients and we'll be like, it'll be a corporate client or a company. Let's sue them, please. This is just, you've got to do something. And I think a lot of big law firms kind of see that where they don't want to mess with those lawsuits. They just let the client go. They let the employee go once there's a denial. And, that whole family's life is messed up. But this was like a leader in the company, of course, and they were like, yeah, we have to do this. And I thank them for standing up against the injustice. It's unknown, but we know here what's right. And, we have to fight for that. And like a lot of times, I feel like my clients will get a letter in the mail. It'll be like XYZ. I'm like, do you know that the U.S. government and the USCIS is not always right? Mm-hmm. And, you can't, everything that you read here is not always right.
And that's hard to fight against because obviously, like, these are foreign nationals who maybe grew up with this idea of everything is perfect in America and the government is fair and people are just. And to go up to people and say, look, this is the law. They might do what's against the law. And I'm just letting you know that we may need to fight this further.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, and it's interesting. And I had another one that I'm like, well, I think we have to, she's got the job offer. Her employer's going to sponsor her, but she's on asylum. But I think I don't think we can. There's some time in between of non-maintenance of status. So I'm going to just send her back she's Venezuelan, but back to Colombia. But she's just like so scared, But I'm like, listen. You gotta take the leap of faith. And it's just like, so our job, like some of the time it's just, I literally feel like I'm pep talking my clients. I mean, I'm being completely honest with everyone. Here's your options. These are the best you can do. And, but you gotta, I know it's scary. And you know what? And it's just kind of like, I'm sure it's worse with you guys, but I have these people, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I know, I feel your anxiety. Like I feel it, but I'm just like, I'm here. Like I'm on your side. I'm going to do everything I can to like make this happen, and this is what we have to do. But, I think that's a good analogy. And it was so funny because I was watching that with my kids and I'm like, that is so true. Like everything, we're all going to face adversity and, we just have to take the leap of faith, but you've got to get a lawyer that you trust, that you feel good about. And, somebody that, and I think somebody that I feel like we're talking about professionalism and, the ideals that we, not everybody that's a lawyer and gets paid to be a lawyer is a professional. And not everybody meets those professional
And can we talk about professionalism everywhere in nationwide? Like, I just feel like it's getting harder and harder to get good staff anywhere. Over the break, my accountant, whom was a person recommended, worked for an accounting firm, he just didn't do his job at all. And then when I go and ask, hey, what's going on? He had left and not told me, not done anything on my business. And fortunately, the owner of the accounting firm is taking responsibility, but if he hadn't, I'd be up the creek without a paddle, to the point where like he didn't file something and I had to pay a penalty to the Georgia Department of Revenue. what is happening to professionalism all over? Like, what do you guys do to get good stuff?
So what I've done, like, so this is, and I was just thinking, because we are, like, our law firm's growing, but I love everybody that I have right now. I mean, and what I've done is I set my core values, and they're on our website. I'm like, this is what I believe in. This is how we run our business. It's like one of the, it's clients first, passion. I have to read them in. Passion for America. Like we love America. You know what I'm saying? Like I have high expectations of America, and I'm disappointed in America right now a little bit, but I have these values. This is how we're going to run our firm, and I want to hire only people that believe in these values. And if if you are going to waver from this, and I'll know immediately. And I think I also want, like, anyone that I hire, like, I want to know that I want them invested in our firm. I want them to know that I want to invest in them. That's why I just told you I did let someone go. It was not at the law firm, but I felt after, like, a probationary period, this person was not I was invested in them. I made a big commitment to them. They were not invested in us. So I think it's a two-way street. So, and it's really hard. I mean, some people, and I think you just have to vet people. You have to be like, here's my intention. I want you here for a long time. I want you to grow. I want to give you opportunities. I'm creating something for everyone here. And that's how I feel like, I hope, I mean, you're always going to lose staff and like I guess will happen, but I think you create that. I've seen this on Facebook. It's like
the culture.
Like, no, like it's like train people so they're good enough to leave, but treat them so they want to stay. So I started having, like, accountability meetings with everybody, setting goals, personal meetings, or a little bit off, like I need to sit and meet, and making people accountable for, like, what they're doing. So just being more efficient in the law firm, but also, like, for my associates, like, I'm giving if you bring in business, and I'm giving them tools. Let's do some training on sales. Let's do this. Let's set some goals. I'm going to give you a big percentage on what you bring in. So, because you know what, I did this training through the Entrepreneurs Group, and it was like, if you turn, it's just basically, here's what it is. If you take your face and from facing inward, like, what do I need? What do I need? What do I need? And you turn it out to everyone around. How can I help you? What can I do? That's the key. And it's interesting because I went to another leadership workshop. John Maxwell and Rachel Hall spoke, and it was like, that was all that he's like, these are leaders in big, they're speaking to people that run big companies. How can I help you? How can this be better? Like, go to your people. And, I feel like some of these people outside, we have to keep people accountable. And if it's not, and I think the whole thing with hire slow, fire fast is like, I don't know. And sometimes you give people the opportunity, like, you need to go and say, like I did to the person that I no longer have right now. I'm like, you are not showing up for me. I did the same thing with my, with another, like, service provider that I have. I was like, you didn't do this. And I gave them the opportunity to make it better. And they did make it better. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I feel like we have to communicate and speak from, where we come from. But I'm in that place right now where I want to grow, but adding to our team, I don't want to upset.
That balance.
So like, above anything, literally above anything is our clients. And literally that we are serving them properly. I mean, that is the number one thing, and everybody knows it. And it's just like, you can't do, above anything above any of my goals in life, it's all based on the clients. And, like, I can't sleep at night because you guys are so important to me, my clients. But you have to like be able to sleep at night. So you put those processes in place where you have double, triple checks. You are like, and we also have to give ourselves a break because we're in a system now where it's a system of like, you've got to be perfect. If you're not perfect, then, that's it. We don't care. So I'm not perfect. Are you guys perfect? Okay.
I'm pretty close.
So, so basically, there's going to be some mistakes. And even if you make a mistake, like if you just own up to it, you're honest, you're not going to get just barred. You're not, everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah.
So that's just, I feel like it was really important to have, and I really thoroughly enjoyed talking about professionalism. Yesterday at our conference, we had a ton of, on my panel were leaders in the immigration law world talking about their experiences, but it was like, wow, it's a good reminder, because actually we did it because we have to, because Georgia Bar requires the credit for CLE, continuing legal education, but it was a really good reminder of what, and I've been that's been a theme I want to address all throughout the show, is just, it's a good reminder of what we're doing, why we're doing this, what we're doing, and what the number one key is. And it's interesting in the professionalism ideals, they say, and I kind of gave this example, but it's not always, it's not always like money that's going to be the driver. It really should be doing what's right and what's just. Yes, we are professionals. We get paid. We should be paid well. And it would be against the professionalism ideals if we undercharge for our services, because then we're not be able to give our best to our clients because we're not being paid.
You have to put value to it. There's value to it.
So, there's all those things there, and all these, and what I explained yesterday was like, every scenario that we face as lawyers. So we have to go through this little bit of like analysis, like and it might be split second, but we make those decisions. And are those the decisions of the bare minimum? Are those of the higher standard? And I feel like it's important to remind people that, there's, we owe these duties. So yeah, I don't know, but I don't know if that answers your question.
I think there's an issue though within the field that we practice in immigration, as it's very different than other areas of law and very different in what we're looking for and how we deliver it. So you need to look at people you want to hire that are culturally sensitive to our clients, because you're dealing with those issues all the time. It makes it challenging to find the right fit when you hire people.
I mean, I feel like immigration law, like there's people that just they know that they want to do this, or this is something like I literally fell into immigration law, but I knew, I'm like, because I was like, after law school, I was like, this sucks. I don't know if I want to be a lawyer. I'm like, I hate fighting people. This is horrible, but I was really into languages, and the first job I was like, well, let me just look for a job where I can speak Spanish.
You had to find something worth fighting for.
Right. And it's interesting, and like there were various like levels of where I wanted to, I was like, I created now my firm and now we're growing, but this is, I wanted, like when I started that, I was like, I want to create a place I want to work every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want to create a place that's,
excited to get up and do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, well,
no, it's not bad. It's not bad. And like, I think it's a time, we're in that time where we actually at the conference, we did meditation. People are, we got to take care of ourselves first. Mm-hmm. Put our own oxygen mask on before we help another. And I think that's a really good advice. Self-care and just not getting beat down, because like this environment's crazy.
What are you guys doing for self-care in the new year? Like, have you made a commitment to prioritize? Because you can't help other people. You can't help anybody who's drowning if you don't have a life vest on first.
I've always been like, I just, I go to yoga like every day, and I go at I'll go at 2:30, and like I met with clients. Like I went, whatever, it's like Thursday, I walk over to the yoga studio and I do it, and then, it's hot yoga, so I look, afterward, but I still met with clients. I'm like, hey, hi, I just finished yoga. And I'm kind of like, I'm very casual in the office. Like, I just don't care about that. Like, I'm not, like, this is me and whatever. And nobody's not hired me because, I mean, I'm doing, you know.
But that's you. That's your authentic self. People want you to show up like that.
Mm-hmm. I have to fit in.
People recognize it.
How much time do you have to fit in the day? Like, I drop my kids to school, I pick my kids up. So I have between that time to work and get my workout in.
And that's real life. Like, that's real world.
Yeah. So I was just, and it was interesting. I went to a manifestation retreat through the entrepreneurs group, and you know, I think it was good to start for the new year, you know, like really. And I didn't do that through the manifestation, but I decided I want to pick a word, and now I picked 2 words for the year. Like, I've got 2 words, and they're going to serve me, like, in my life and my, you know, growing the business, helping my clients, and getting my dreams. I mean, it's a lot of times, like, my dreams are dependent, you know, dependent on the success of my business and the success that our clients, you know, have. But I was thinking, I wanted the word to be fearless. But you know what? I need that fear. I need that fear. I need those butterflies. I need that. I don't want to be less free from fear. So I picked brave. Because that fear that we all have, you know, we get something comes in, or something happens, it's like, it's a motivator. And I think a little bit of fear is good. It helps us. And if we don't, like, go to the negative side. So brave. And then if you really, truly want to get what you want, you have to believe you can do it. I had, you know, another colleague come up to me and she just said, "Oh my gosh, you're doing this." And then she said, "I can't do that." Well, if you start out like that, not believing, then so brave and believe. And I feel like I can, like, my 2020 is going to be, you know, I just have to be brave. I've got to take risks. I've got to take these chances, you know, to get to the fearless part. I mean, the fear will get me there. But, you know, I think, and it was interesting because we wrote down, like, kind of, everyone went around the room. I was at the retreat with 25 entrepreneurs from all over the country and world. And they're all, like, very successful, and, like, you know, and I wrote like my kind of like my mantra or my motto type of thing. And you kind of like, you do it, you work it out. I wonder if I have it. It's probably my purse. I think I wrote it down. But it was literally like my, you know, it's pick your 2 best qualities. Like I want to use my creativity and my perseverance to soften people's hearts regarding their feelings about immigrants and or whatever. I can't remember the exact same thing, but I have these positive things in my life, and my goal is, like, you know, through this radio show, we're doing it through our everyday lives, you know, like, this is, you know, it's America, but we need to humanize our immigrants, and we need to, I feel like I run into people, and it's even people in my family, I just want to soften people's hearts. Like, is there, like, you know, the word immigrant isn't a dirty word, you know, and it's just interesting to me. And we all do different types of practice, and we run into different types of, I'm proud of all my clients, very proud. They are amazing people. So it's just kind of interesting how and I guess that's like my 2020 mantra, and it's been like maybe my lifelong mantra. But if you all had a word, what would you pick as your word, or have you picked a word for 2020?
I think
I haven't thought about it.
I haven't thought about it either.
Well, for me it varies, obviously, for a season of life. Right now, content is my word, because, you know, sometimes you go through seasons of life, and the Bible talks about it. So there's a time to laugh, time to cry, time to rejoice, time to mourn. And you know, right now I feel like in my family we're in this season of, like, this is what we have to do to get to the next phase. And it reminds me a lot about like in the Bible, Exodus, the history of the Israeli people going through the desert. Like they had to go through the desert. Like there was no other way. That was the route to the promised land. And so right now I'm a person where like if I don't like something, and my mom was an attorney for 30 years. She's like, if you don't like something, you change it. And she like instilled that in me. Like if I don't like how I'm feeling, if I don't like some condition, I must change it.
Can your mom come on our show?
Oh. Yeah, you would. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's just this thing where like I need to be content right now, because really, even though the way everything that's happening around it is not how I would love it to be, it has to happen that way in order to get, like, I can't, if I change this, it's gonna change everything. And if I change that, it's gonna unravel everything. So it's just this thing of like, and I think we have to go through those periods in life where you're just like, okay, it's not perfect, but because of these dreams that I want to accomplish, I have to go through this, and I have to buckle down.
Yeah, I feel like that's gonna be a theme. I feel like that needs to be an ongoing thing. Like we really like, despite everything, we're just maintaining our contentment. We're happy. Mm-hmm. Like, and I feel like sometimes if you start with like gratitude, like just start with gratitude and the more like, hey, what is good? Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because, and I've been telling this to my clients. My clients think I'm crazy, but what you focus on, if it's a negative, it will happen. So if I felt like the other day, I was like, did I manifest that denial? Because I was so worried about it. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't speak it out, but I was like, oh, something's going to happen. Something's taking too long. Oh, and I was just like, that's the one, I just don't want that one to get denied. I just don't, that client, I don't want to let that client down, or I don't want something to happen to this client. And guess what happened? So I think when you put your focus on that, because a lot of times clients are like, what happens if this is denied? What is this, and I'm like, let's just focus on the positive for now. And let's not put all our energy on that. So I feel like we've got to find contentment. We've got to find happiness, regardless of like kind of the shambles that are falling around and all these other things. And, I told, finding gratitude, finding grace, but I told my, my client, let's look at the positive, and you know what I said? Yeah, we're back to square one. This is bad. You're still here. You maintain your non-immigrant status. You're still okay. They didn't deny your adjustment yet. You still have the work permit. Like we've got a solution. Let's think about these positive things. So I figure if we can turn that around, some of these situations are so bad, and it's hard to go home and just like sometimes smile because, wow, I mean, especially like my client got deported, or that's rough. That's rough to handle. Yeah. And that's we were talking about self-care. Yeah. You have to take care of yourself, because that can really, what is it's secondary trauma. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think for me, I think actually I would have 2 words this year. It would be intentional and persistent. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like all of my life I've kind of been just content, and I haven't been like intentional in creating what I want and how I want things to be in my life. And so I think those 2 words are like, okay, no, Melaney, you need to be persistent, because sometimes you just want to give up and be like, okay, I'm going to go work for somebody else. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to have this particular amount of money to just be okay. Mm-hmm. And I don't want that anymore. Like, no, I want to strive for more, and I want more. I want more for me. I want more for my clients. I want more for my, my family. And so those 2, I think those 2 words like really, really stick, I think, for me in 2020.
Those are good words.
What about you? Yes, that's me. I think, as Killa was saying, the seasons of change in your life, where I am, I have my oldest son is looking at leaving and going to college, and now I'm looking around going, oh my God, I think my goal is to find balance. Find balance between how much more time I can put into work and what I want to do, and how much less I'm going to be needed at home. Most of my career has been tied to my children. Of course, my husband too. I don't know if he's listening, but if he is, give him a shout out. But I think everything I've done career-wise and my path that I've chosen to where I am has been based on, can I still be there for my children? Can I find balance in what I'm doing? And so now in this upcoming change where I'm going to have one less kid in the house and we're going to have a different relationship and whatnot, how do I want to balance my life between work and what I have left at home? So I know it's not earth-shattering as far as career choices or what, but my goal in life has always been, as a working mom, is balance. It's balance.
It's interesting. I was listening to a podcast by Nick Pavlidis. He's an attorney in New York, but he doesn't practice anymore. He does more ghostwriting and coaching, business coaching attorneys. And he talked about like the myth of the work-life balance, and we all know, we've heard, and then now we're hearing more work-life integration. Like, what does that mean? And one thing that he said that I thought I found really interesting, and I'm gonna try to implement, is he said, instead of parting from work and saying, I will fit my life around my work schedule, he says that at the beginning of every year, he maps out all the things that are important to him. Like he has like a kickball league or church or something, and he puts it in there. And then he goes, okay, how do we fit in work around all this? Like if you have a big family vacation, wedding or something, of course stuff is going to come out that doesn't make the calendar. But I just really thought that was really neat because, we're only on Earth. I'm sorry to get so deep. But we're only on Earth for just like literally a very small amount of time. And it's like, gosh, like make it happy, like make it the best that you can. And I'm speaking to myself as much as anybody else because I know I struggle to be glass half full person. My husband's the whole opposite. He's just like sunshine and rainbows and unicorns, and shout out to him if he's listening as well. But yeah, just you choose joy. Remember that song by King and Country? It says choose joy, because we often don't see joy as a choice. It's more like, oh, okay, well, if things are great, I'll be happy. But it's like,
we can't wait for that. Yeah, we have to decide every day. And so I feel like when you change, there's another, David Nagel, the Successful Mind podcast, your mind, like he said something, and your mind changes everything. Like you can bring yourself down, with your mind, or you can create, and he said something, it was interesting. Everything that we need, all the money in the world, everything that we need, we can create. Which is like, here. And there was, and then another person was talking, she said, I can't remember, Tracy McMillan, she was like, don't even, like sometimes we don't need to have such a big plan. Because we can imagine something, but what could be out there for us could be even bigger than our imagination. So, like, I know these are really deep concepts, but I love this stuff. Yeah. I go crazy over this. It's like, it gets me super excited because I want to, and I had the butterflies when I was talking to the landscape architect about what the work that we have to do and like the costs, and I had the butterflies, but I know I have to do this to have this beautiful area for my kids. Like that is like my goal. I've been writing it, speaking it, but it's like, wow, that fear. So I've got to be brave and I've got to believe that I can do it. And I'm telling the two landscape architects all about my, manifesting. And they're like, lady, I just want to know if you want the ficus over here or over there. It was bigger than that. Because we had to go through so much city, and I was like, I must be the most patient client, right? And he's like, yeah, you're pretty patient, because a whole year went by to get the stream buffer variance on the, because we have a stream there to build like a pool and do all this stuff. And I was like, no, I'm used to it. I deal with the government too. So I knew you were doing a great job. By the way, thank you. You did a wonderful job. And I'm really loved working with you. But I knew that you're dealing with red tape. I do it too. I'm not going to bother you. So, and sometimes if we do hire a professional, yeah, sometimes they don't do what they need to do. But when you find one that does, tell them.
Like everything. Yeah.
Tell them that they did a wonderful job and you really appreciate them, because there's no way I could do what they did.
Yeah.
That's probably worse, going through all the city red tape, and you're just like, why? I have to move the wall this way and do this. It's crazy. But yeah, we're wrapping up. Is there anything else? I know we kind of went a little bit off of all the hardcore immigration and got a little touchy-feely, but for me, I love talking about those things, and just it brings me great joy to be with you guys here, and I thank you for spending your Saturday morning with me. I feel like everyone that's on our show, we've formed these new relationships, really gotten to know each other well, and hopefully we'll have a great 2020 with the show, and who knows where we're going to go. There's possibility there, and I haven't put a lot of thought into what we're going to do, but if anyone's watching and wants to message me or wants to hear more about anything, my email's egarvish@goimmigrationlaw.com. You can always email, and I guess everybody wants to go around and give our website's www.goimmigrationlaw.com. It's easy to find us. You can reach us if there's anything you want to hear us talk about, you want more information, you want some articles, you want to know how you can help immigration, related charities. There's some great ones. If you want to give or volunteer, we can get you that information. So please feel free to reach out. Do you guys want to?
Sure. My law firm is Marti Law Firm, MARTI. What do you call it? The website is martilawfirm.com. Pretty straightforward. MARTI lawfirm.com. And my email is Killa, my name, KILLA @martilawfirm.com.
And I'm Jennifer Bensman, and the owner manager of Bensman Law, BENSMAN, out of Roswell, but obviously it's immigration, so we cover cases all across the United States. Primarily family-based, juvenile cases, removal defense, and my email is jen@jenniferbensmanlaw.com.
Hello.
And I'm Melaney LaGrone, and it's LaGrone Law, and we're out of Gwinnett County, Lawrenceville, but of course we're in the metro Atlanta area and all over the world. And another thing too is all of us have Facebook pages, so you can even go to our Facebook pages. You can message us that
and
way
Instagram
as well,
too.
And Instagram. Ask questions, and just reach out and let us know, what you need, what you want to hear, any questions that you might have.
Just introduce yourself, and the caller came in right at the end, so I didn't know if it was.
Awesome.
So just go ahead. Just say this is Elizabeth on the border.
Okay. Okay. Well, I just went through that. Okay.
Yeah.
Is this
your
caller?
Oh,
this is my
caller is on the line.
Okay. Hi. I didn't understand. Okay. I need to get my act together. New studio. So this is Elizabeth. Who's calling?
I think they may have.
Did you hang up?
They may have.
You got one call.
Well, call back.
And they call right at the end. Well, we're good. I'm sorry, but I wanted you to.
Okay, great. Yeah, because normally we don't get a ton of calls. But yeah, we're happy to take calls. It's not really a call-in show, but we definitely are happy to take calls. I think we lost our caller, but anyway, I guess we're wrapping up, guys. And it's been so you're here. This is Beyond the Border, our first show of 2020. We hope to have many more. You're listening to the new WCEG Network. Go to WCEGTalkRadio.com and click live stream to watch us there, or watch us on YouTube at WCEG Network. I'm Elizabeth Garvish, and I'm your host for Beyond the Border. This is the Worldwide Community and Power Group, and we speak life into the community. Have a great Saturday. Bye.
Thank you.